It's 186 CE when Dibald, second Duke of Frisia, arrives here with his men. They start to dig in to show the Danes that are on the opposite side of the river that they're here. The Danes are in the surprise of their life that most of them will never be able to tell. It is early summer of 186 AD, as the Danes are arriving with their fleet. They slowly are gathering their forces on the right bank of the Eems river to prepare for raiding and attacking the Frisian landscape. Used to the rule of Ascan, the first Duke of Frisia, with little to no resistance or much skilled Frisian men or younglings. It is well known at this point that even though Frisians are their mortal enemy, most Frisians are not skilled in battles and fighting anymore. At least, that may have been on the mind of the Danes, that think themselves safe. The Danes have gathered their force in full, with about 25 to 50 boats arriving over time, gathering 1500 Danes. What could go wrong? As soon as the first boats arrive, a Frisian scout reports to the local Duke of Viking, reporting an overwhelming force of Danes. While the Duke of the region immediately sends a messenger to the Duke of Frisia, Dibald, in the main capital of Stave, he knows it's 154 kilometers away. The local Duke knows even the fastest rider on the fastest horse will arrive about 3 hours in Stave, and it will take roughly 3 hours to come back. 6 hours in total for Duke Dibald to show with the Frisian army. He says to his men, "We have to prepare, while Duke Dibald, as our war duke, will come. And surely he will bring his brave brother and his general, the brave knight Titus, and thus the battle may not be lost," as Dibald is enjoying the summer in Friesland. His morning as much routine as it should in a large tower in the keep. From his place he can overlook the city and the river Frisii leading up to the North Sea. The Frisii divides the Kreiler Woud. The day looks perfect, almost too perfect. He smiles even though his health goes back and forth. He enjoys his time with his best friend and brother, talking about the adventures and the wisdom of Titus. He's lucky to have such a great friend who supports him in his role. He looks in the distance and sees a rider coming towards the city, but the rider seems off. As soon as Dibald receives word of the invading Danes, he sends multiple messengers to gather the army. Knowing the battle is already half won, with his brave brother Titus present, him alone will inspire their ready troops. Dibald, with even his short time in Rome, has prepared his land and countrymen for such an occasion as this. And this will be a chance to prove their mettle. While they take their time to march to the east of Frisia Major, they march around the Bourne River linked to the Middle Sea, crossing multiple rivers through the forest when they finally arrive. On the way, Dibald has talked his strategy over with his brother Titus. They sent a messenger ahead to the Duke of Viking to dig in on their side of the riverbank, and not to worry, since the army is on its way. Dibald's tactic is to stay with his major part of his troops in the forest under the cover, out of sight of the Danes. His brother Titus will take 800 skilled and battle-hardened men and younglings and march towards the lower part of the river. Here at the river Eems was the place where Titus, the brother of Dibald, the second Duke of Friesland, out of sight of the Danes, crossed the river to surprise them and attack them in the back. Titus instructs his chieftains and men not to make too much sound. The Danes must not be aware of their presence until the last moment. While Titus and his men make it slowly to the area behind the Danes, and start slowly to crawl through the fields and forest, out of the sight of the unexpected Danes. The Danes are occupied with the Frisians digging in on the other side of the river. Some of them they watch them, but most of them they wonder what could go wrong. Since the Frisians they are not trained, they are outnumbered, and they are on the other side. The Danes laugh out loud and make even jokes of their mortal enemy.
While the Danes were discussing amongst themselves what their next steps should be, imagine the shock that out of nowhere from that side, 800 battle-hardened Frisians under the command of Titus,
in battle formations of multiple shield walls, start shouting to the ill-prepared Danes. The Danes are in total shock and they can't believe their eyes. Before short, the Frisians start to cut in on the Danes, who are pushed towards the beach and into the sea. 400 Danes manage to snap out of their shock and
go into the water, try to swim to the other side,
and with only hundreds of meters try to save their life. Dibald, with his troops still in cover, has instructed the folklore Frisian duke and his chieftains to hold off the Danes and slowly give them space, making it seem they are winning terrain in order to get them confident. Next, he told his chieftains to wait for the signal, with his trained and disciplined troops waiting, eager to kill Danes and send them a message for years to come. The Danes come on shore and attack the dock in folklore Frisians that hold them off. The folklore Frisians slowly march backwards, pretending in giving the Danes more territory, to make them think and feel that they could win this. Then, with the last Danes of the 400 coming on shore and joining their brethren, Dibald gives the signal, and with 3 shield walls joining the folklore Frisians, they now close in on the Danes, who after some minutes surrender themselves to them. The battle for the bloody beach has been won. The Frisians celebrate Dibald and Titus. With many spoils, they stay for some time in folklore, with not for long returning to the capital of Staven. Have you ever heard about this battle? What did you think of it? Would you like to hear more about historical figures and battles such as these? Our mission is to retell these stories, long forgotten, of Frisian and Dutch folklore, mythology and history, so that they may be remembered. Subscribe if you want to join our mission. Like the video, leave your response in the comments. Thanks for watching. To grab the opportunity.